What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode number 54. I'm Fox 2. We got Pirate.
Hey, guys.
And the whole effing Brian.
Yo.
Alright, so let's jump right back in. This weekend, let's talk about what we've been reading. I guess I'll go first this week. I don't typically go first, but just to kind of change things up. I've been reading Batman Zero Year. The Scott Snyder and who's the artist?
Greg Capullo.
Greg Capullo. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Awesome story. I'm really loving it. I've been reading it along with like all of the tie-ins and stuff. I really love how the different series, like the Green Lantern, the Red Hood and the Outlaws, the Flash, all the different episodes, the Detective Comics, it shows where those particular characters were at, all at the same time when the power went out, so to speak, the blackout in Gotham City. So I love it. I'm absolutely loving it. Somebody's dog is freaking out, but that's all
my
right.
dog.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That'll be all right. We'll just adds to the ambiance, if you will. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get it from my end here pretty soon too. We're talking about getting a puppy, so
It's hard out here in the streets of my house.
yeah. In that case, what have you been reading?
Actually, I have been
Clearly not dog training manuals.
The only thing I've gotten to read this week is the DC Forever Futures Earth 2 World's End.
Damn, that changed titles like 6 times while he was
Because
saying
I keep on going to say Forever Evil.
Forever
every
Evil
time I said
Futures
End. I always do that.
Blackest Night,
FE.
Darkest
It's not
Day.
fair how DC does that. They could have changed it put a different title, but
Original
I don't know.
Sin City.
Unfortunately, it's not that great of a title, great of a story. But unfortunately, it's also the only thing I've read. But it's basically the setup to what It's a prequel to what's happening, and where they gotten to in Future's End, where Earth 2 is being attacked by the minions of Darkseid and Apocalypse. And they're basically like, this is the war that basically throws everybody from Earth 2 into run to Earth 1, I guess it is, or Prime. And how Darkseid destroys all of Earth 2's Earth. So, I mean, you're basically getting you got Future's End that was starting, and then this is throwing you the story of what happened before that, to where they how they got to what's going on in Future's End and stuff like that.
What about?
I mean, Future's End is a lot better than World's End, but it's basically a 3-part thing. This is part 2, but it's part 2, but it's actually part 1 because these events happened first.
I
but
see.
DC decided to tell you later on.
Do you think that DC has gotten themselves so kind of jumbled around and confused with the whole multiverse complexity that they felt compelled to bring out a book based on DC multiverse?
Well, it just gets more. Well,
No, supposedly
they just released a book, or they're getting ready to release a book all on the collaboration of the DC multiverse.
Yeah, Convergence. What's coming to us in April, which is basically, from what I get from it, it's basically like all the multiverse is going to come together bit by bit and under a dome.
But they have this handbook coming out, or it's already out on
on all the different
how to understand it.
Yeah, and it's like, damn, you have to issue a field manual to understand what's about to happen.
It's pretty complex right now.
It's kind of crazy. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, but DC and Marvel are kind of doing the same thing at the same time.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I mean, I don't know. We don't know really the gist of DC's besides like Brainiac having to be the big main bad guy and some new enemy. But like with Marvel, we know that they're all like getting to this battle world, and each like multiverse inhabits like one continent from the trailer that Marvel has put out there on it.
Sunday.
Yeah, basically. Battle World. World War Hulk Universe versus 616. Fight!
Yeah. God. What about you, Pirate? What have you been reading?
What did I read?
We've been working a lot, so I don't know. Did you
Yeah,
get a chance to read anything?
I don't know if I read anything because this last week's been a blur with all the work we've been doing. But,
Yeah.
I know I read something. I can't even think right now. I'm drawing a blank. I obviously didn't read anything worth reading because I don't remember it.
Fair enough, man. It happens. We've been busy working.
That's what happens
hours.
when you become adults and nerds at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes it
we need
difficult.
corporate sponsorship for fucking Comic Book Nerd Nation. So if anybody out there has some ducats afloat to give us a yearly salary to do this,
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, contact me. Let me know. Let's work something out. If there's somebody out there that wants to sponsor this podcast, we'll make it happen for sure. I'm not sure that I know what we have to offer, but we'll figure something out.
I will sleep with you.
We got a lot of opinions. That's for sure.
Yes, I could. I mean, I can pour myself out.
Word on the street is Brian gives a mean HJ too.
Yeah, I couldn't turn into anything else.
Couldn't
got a
himself
poop
to finish.
fetish
I like
too,
hot
so if you need
jalapenos.
Cleveland Steamers, he's got you covered.
Literally covered. All right, let's jump into the news. We got surprisingly, we actually have a fair amount of news points to hit on this week. Let's just start. Let's not bury the lead. Let's jump right in. This is probably what, as we're recording this on Monday night, this is probably what everybody's talking about right now. Mark Hamill has been announced that it has been announced that Mark Hamill will be playing the Trickster on the Flash TV show. Now, what are you guys' thoughts on this?
I think he's going to look exactly like the other one, but older. That's just he's going to look exactly like the Trickster was.
Did you read the premise of how they're doing it? Because
No.
basically what they're going to do is he's playing the old Trickster.
Okay.
Like the Trickster from the original
James
Flash TV
Jesse.
series
Yeah, James
that he
Jesse.
played.
Yes.
Exactly.
He's playing
was
that
a joke
Trickster,
about him being
and he's
older.
going to be in jail. And then there's going to be a new Trickster. I can't remember, Alex something. I can't remember, but it's from Jeff Johns' run.
But
Oh, the ones that they probably use now. 'Cause
Yes,
it's the same Trickster.
Exactly. So there's going to be two Tricksters in the episode.
So are they acknowledging that he was the Trickster and a criminal?
Yeah. He's playing that character. Yes.
So John Wesley Shipp, his dad, who Barry Allen's dad is, that played the Flash, but they're not acknowledging the previous Flash, right?
Right.
No, yeah.
Right.
Well, in the comics, there was two Tricksters, just like there were two Captain Boomerangs.
Right.
So Mark Hamill's just playing
The
the
older
original
one.
Trickster, yeah,
It's
the
gonna
older
be so
one
visually,
that probably had died.
fucking with me because like I have that collection of DVDs, you know what I mean? It's like, and I remember watching that show and it's like, damn, dude, like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that he's not going to be.
I don't think it's not visually appeasing to me.
I don't think he's going to be that big of a part, honestly. Like, I think it's just a nostalgia thing more than anything else.
Like John West Shipley being his dad.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the other thing that I wanted to ask is like at what point, you know, we always talk about how like, well, we'd rather this person play this role or that person or whatever, but there's always that sentimental, like, you want to see the same person play that role, like if they've done it before. But at what point is enough when like nostalgia is outweighed by the fact that this motherfucker's just too old to play this shit, and it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna just like okay. All of us are gonna have a special place in our heart for Adam West as Batman.
I would still watch him right now.
But you don't want a brand new Batman movie with him trying to play a 30-year-old Batman. Like
it would get my
that'd be awesome.
You're
I mean, just for the sake of seeing it happen, you know what I mean?
It'd be terrible though.
No, it wouldn't, but it would still get my money regardless. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess.
And I don't even think I could bitch. Like, I don't even think Brian could bitch about that, even if it's horrible or not. He would probably not use the word poop. He would refrain from poop at all in description of that.
I don't know.
No, I wouldn't. I'd call it glorious poop.
Oh, okay, glorious
poop.
It'd be poop with sprinkles on it.
Oh yeah.
But it would get my money. Like, would I think it's great? No. Would I be happy with it? Probably not. But I'd be glad that they fucking did it. You know, just for the sake of doing it.
I don't know.
Like, somebody's got that much money to take away. Fucking awesome.
I feel like there's a point where nostalgia gets in the way of something good. You know, it actually takes away from. And I'm a little worried about Star Wars for the simple fact they're bringing back fucking Harrison Ford. He's out there on the set walking around the Millennium Falcon and snaps his leg because he's like 930 years old.
I heard he fucking, like, the only way he'd agree to do it is if he dies off quick. Like, from what I was talking to somebody, they said what they read, or it's hearsay.
It's a handing down of the torch.
Yeah, but it's like
they need to kill him off relatively quickly.
No, they said he does. They said that him and Leah's son, this is, like I said, speculation, but if it comes true, you heard it here. If not, then it's just like every other Star Wars rumor. You know what I mean? Like, but so apparently, from what I kind of gathered in the conversation, was Leah and Luke, or not Leah, yeah, Leah and Han Solo. They have twins. The son ends up falling to the dark side, and Leah ends up, not, right? But Luke Skywalker is there he's going to kill. He's like a Yoda living on, like, the moon of Dagobah or whatever, training young Padawans, and he goes to save Han Solo from their son, who actually, and Han Solo, he was going to kill his son, not Han Solo, Luke's going to kill Han Solo's son, but he doesn't, and Han Solo, like, tells him not to, like, don't worry about it, like, he's still savable, like, there's still good in him, even if he kills me, and I heard that he killed Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker, doesn't kill him, and in hopes to future save him from the dark side.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that one turns out. Total speculation.
Like I said, it's total speculation, but that was just what the conversation was, and I heard it, and I was like, that sounds good. And it makes sense because Harrison Ford did say he's like, I'm not going to be a big role in this. Yeah. And I'm speculating that Chewbacca is the one flying the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I think he's the one who's going to be
moving on up.
Yeah, and every time I see the previews, I watch the trailer multiple times. And I think of Chewbacca letting out like a barrel roll, like coming out.
Do a barrel roll,
like do a barrel roll, furry guy.
All right.
He's so old, he has to wear one of those fucking cones so he doesn't bite himself.
It's not as I'm just being old. It's like he got neutered. Like,
dang. All right.
Hey.
Never know. Next bit is Wonder Woman movie that's slated. Looks like it's probably going to have a writer. Writer Jason Fuchs is nearing a deal to write the Wonder Woman movie. His only big title to date is Ice Age Continental Drift.
That's the only Ice Age movie
really
I've seen.
I think this is probably a mistake. I think this is a bad decision. I don't think you should write a... I don't think if you're trying to have a blockbuster type movie, which is basically what these comic book movies are shooting for, I don't think that an unexperienced writer is really who you want to go with. I could be wrong, but...
I don't think... you know what? I kind of think that an unexperienced writer would be better. because the groundwork's already been laid out in the material. Like, you look how many years of comic books you have, and if you get a big name writer, you know what I mean, you're throwing an ego in there who thinks they can do all this material, they can interpret it and make it so much better. So I think a no-name writer who's, you know, he doesn't have an ego to kind of throw around, and he's gonna take the material at hand, and I think he might do it justice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could go either way. I see both sides.
I get your point. I see where you're coming with that. That makes sense. You don't want somebody coming in and thinking that, well, my shit's better than everything that's out there, so I'm just going to do my own thing anyway.
You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, all you need to do is take the fucking material that's laid out in front of you and then just incorporating and fit into a 2-hour fucking story. That's it. You know?
Yeah.
Or not even the material, a portion of the material.
Fantastic Four could take note of this conversation. Brian, what do you
Fantastic
think?
Four is fucking throw up all over my face.
And he bypassed the turd on that one.
Damn.
He
Throw up on the face.
Coming in hot.
basically they got a director of an animated film to do something that they're relying on to be a blockbuster hit. Is kind of like, it's just, that doesn't make sense. He can't, like, okay, draw Wonder Woman with her arm up in the air and her lasso in the other hand. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I guess it's not the same directing live action to a cartoon movie, but
Right.
like, you're basically telling somebody
he's the writer, not the director, though.
Oh, writer.
I thought the director didn't they get the
They already have a director. It's a lady.
Oh yeah, it's a lady.
It's a lady.
It was the girl who
but
did
still,
it.
even writing, I mean, a kid's cartoon to like an action-packed like comic book movie still doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
you could just write in a few more cuss words.
are they gonna have are they gonna have little cameos of a live action or CGI squirrel?
Yes.
I forgot what the squirrel's name is from those movies.
I don't know. I know the squirrel. I can't think of the name though.
You know what I'm talking about,
Nuts.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
though. Yeah.
There's gonna be a 3-toed sloth somewhere in it.
A saber-toothed tiger.
All right. Next bit of news, still on the DC front. Jason Momoa has signed for 4 films as Aquaman, as the Aquaman character.
Well, that makes sense because you got Batman v Superman. He's supposed to be in.
Right.
One.
You got the Justice League.
Well, Justice League's 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So there's
Okay.
3, and then the Aquaman film, so 4.
Yeah. Do you think that they'll get rid of him after that, or do you? I think that'll be enough Aquaman.
I mean, it depends on. I mean, and usually
Yeah, it depends how many. I mean, they can't really do that many Justice League movies. I mean, Ben Affleck's already like almost 50.
Yeah.
He could do like 1 or maybe 2, but well, the 2 parts he could do.
Unless Batman dies.
Yeah, you're assuming that Batman's in all of them.
Well, if they kill off Batman, won't that be a major disappointment? If they reboot him just to kill him.
I mean, could be interesting too. It's a direction they haven't gone in yet.
It's a direction.
Characters, though.
It's the same direction my poop takes
What if they
down the toilet.
What if they take it Blackest Night?
That would be a lot. That would be they would have to make Green Lantern like the forefront of the whole movie universe.
Happen.
Well, they do have to. Yeah.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome if they could pull off Blackest Night cinematically. Oh my God, could you imagine?
Dude, that would be pretty intense. It'd be a pretty long.
That'd be almost hard to watch. Just the visuals in that, with all the fucking rings and everything.
I couldn't. There's no way I could watch. Like, I think it was Fox. I think it was me and you having this discussion about when I seen Man of Steel 3D in the theaters.
Yes.
I fell asleep during the fight scene because there was so much. Visually, there was so much, and I was drunk. But visually, there was so much.
Wait, you can't. There was too much for your drunk.
I just couldn't take it all in. I was like, I should not have watched this in 3D.
In all honesty, though, I had the same kind of experience. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy in IMAX 3D, and there was scenes where I pretty much just had to close my eyes because it was just too much going on.
Yeah, I stopped seeing IMAX 3D movies just because
My
the
old eyes
same.
can't take it.
It bothers my eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow actually, as we're recording
Tomorrow.
this. Tomorrow.
I'm looking forward for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, as we're recording this, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, so I'm going to be purchasing that. I'm really interested to watch it again because, like I said, there's whole sections where I was like just trying not to pay attention because I thought I was going to end up vomiting because there was so much visually going on that I couldn't take it.
Plus, like, those 3D glasses aren't friendly to people who need
Wear
glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, it made some really weird effects around the edges of like my glasses and stuff. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching it again.
There was a sea turtle.
Yeah. In other news, P. Diddy punched Drake in the face for saying something shitty to a woman.
I
What
don't
the
know.
fuck are wrong with rappers?
It's like it's just
The struggle is real.
You like
the
how he
90s
just rolled
in the
right into
90s
that? Like, no
in
problem.
the '90s there was fucking shit like motherfuckers died. Now we
Yeah.
got motherfuckers slapping people in clubs. Like shit, you ain't as hard as you used to be, bro.
That's on one side of the spectrum in the club. Apparently, on the other side of the spectrum, we got Leonardo
same
DiCaprio in the same town, dumps his girlfriend, and then leaves the club with 20 women.
The best way to get over a chick is to get 20 underneath you.
Imagine if you just gathered those 20 women to cry to them. I had to break up with her. I just had to.
It's one giant ass support group.
He's got a panel of women to cry on.
Oh god.
Like we're gonna have. He's probably got like this like crazy dungeon where he's got like this like long table. He has all these women sit along of it, and he just kind of sits and
Handcuffs them to the table so they can't leave when he starts
talks about his
crying.
emotions.
Cry me a river.
Oh, he's like, I can't deal with one woman. I'm gonna get 20.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole VIP section. Let's go back to my house.
Oh my god. We have totally... We're
what's funny,
completely
though?
off the rails right
I
now.
wonder how many of those women that snuck through there, because this is Miami. I wonder how many of those women that snuck home with him were really dudes. Like if he had a couple ghosts like buzzing the tower there, like whoa.
There's a turd in the punch bowl. I
we got
repeat, there's a turd in the punch bowl.
2 insurgents. Call
Someone
away.
shit on or around the coats.
I don't even know no motherfucking insurgents. Oh my god. I think we just quoted like 6 different comedians in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
All right.
Pay us.
Next bit of news. Ryan Reynolds has confirmed that he will be playing the Deadpool role.
Good.
That's fucking
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
You guys
I
all
liked him
saw
as
the,
Deadpool. It's just the movie was written shit.
It was good up until like I was excited when he said Wilson. I was excited the way that Ryan Reynolds played him, even though he wasn't really Deadpool. But I was super pissed when I found out what happened to him by the end of the movie.
Oh, you mean
like-
that they put in these fucking swords in his arms that were
And
definitely
sewed his
longer
mouth
than this
shut.
part of his arm?
Yeah, sewed his mouth shut, put swords in him, never gave him a gun, laser beams out his fucking eye. Like, where else do I begin? Like, I mean, they gave him the fucking regeneration. Okay, they got that one. You know what I mean? But realistically, if his head would have got chopped off, he still would have made it. He still would have been alive.
But does the Deadpool
He was
Deadpool's
alive.
test footage, does it make up
Well,
for all that?
But it's just test footage. If it's,
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
come on.
If
That's
if it's like that,
definitely
if it is like that, then
oh,
yes,
take
I'm
my money.
super stoked. But I hope to God they don't fuck him up twice, because apparently it's going to be PG-13, which I can get by on that.
What?
Fine.
Well, you can get a lot by on PG-13 these days.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why I'm kind of like, okay, I'm not going to hold that against anything yet. I'm very concerned about this film.
I'm concerned.
I'm not going to have.
I'm very concerned for your well-being, film.
I'm just very concerned that
Maybe you should write them a strongly worded letter.
I would do that, but I've been let down a lot with like Marvel characters that have not been done by Marvel. Punisher 3 times.
Yeah, well,
Fuck
didn't
you,
didn't
Brian.
we didn't we didn't we determine that that was the lowest grossing comic book movie in history?
The last one was, but you know what? Though I'm glad it was because now Sony, or not Sony, but Lionsgate and Sony gave up the rights, and now it's back to Marvel owns it. So I'm actually glad that was that. There was goodness from that fucking bottom of the barrel.
If
shit.
they choose to make a movie with him in it,
It doesn't matter. The fact that no one else can fuck it
at
up.
least nobody else is gonna
let
fuck
it
with
sit
it.
in a vault somewhere for fucking. Who cares if they never make it again? No one else can fuck that up until they decide to fucking get hard up for money and sell off a couple characters. But yeah, no movie's better than what I've seen.
Yeah.
Granted, there's been some good things that I've taken. They get certain points. You know what I mean? Like of the character I thought that I liked, but overall, no.
What do you think, Brian? What do you think about this Deadpool movie? Is this
I
something
think
you're
it.
excited
I mean,
about?
if they do it compared and like along
Along.
Brian has completely
like
frozen.
that,
Oh, there he is.
Oh, you're back. We didn't hear. We just
Yeah,
heard
we did
along.
not catch a word of that.
if they do it right, and they do it according to the test footage, and they do it according to the how be true to the comics and shit like that, I think it could be great.
Yeah, I
That's the
completely
key.
agree. If they don't stay true to the comics and they try to vary too much, I think that's true of just about any comic book movie. Really, when they go too far from the source material, that's when it starts having problems. I mean,
And that's what I don't ever understand. Like I said before, the material's laid out in
it's
front of you.
there. Just pull the
Yeah.
fucking story directly from the comic book.
You
Fuck.
reinvent the wheel, and fucking that's when people get pissed.
It's not even a matter of people getting pissed. It's just a matter of like you're trying to come up with something that hasn't been used when there's 500 issues of stories that have already worked.
Right.
You could literally just pick any one of them. You already have the rights to this shit.
Do you think they look at like do you think they go through and look at like sales records of like series of comics?
Absolutely, I think they do.
What story arcs? Because sometimes it almost seems like either they can't do it verbatim, you know what I mean, of the story because of whatever rights, I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, wow, like if you made a movie based on this,
Like Brightest Day or Blackest Night, I
like
mean.
fucking, you know, like not like a 6 issue series because that would probably be kind of short, but like if you pulled a run of like 2 or 3 volumes of some continuity from a character,
Mhm.
like, dude, that's a fucking movie. Like it's already there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you feel that like you're not a good script writer if you can't transcribe that to?
Yeah, why can't you just take that and just translate it over into a movie script, make it a little, take the broad strokes, make it a little more involved, a little deeper. Why can't we get movies like that? I don't I don't understand. Not that I'm complaining about some of the movies, on both sides of the fence, Marvel and DC. Marvel's cinematic universe is amazing right now. The Avengers, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy was incredible. DC side of things, you got, the Nolan trilogy was awesome. But, why can't we just get some of our favorite historical stories directly into cinema? I don't understand that.
I think too, though, we're looking at it from the comic fan perspective, and I don't know, maybe that's the reason why a lot of people don't read comics is because they don't get into it, obviously, like we do. But I don't know, maybe cinematically, they're just people are just like.
I guess I don't know. I can't imagine if they took
attracted to it. I
keep going back to Blackest Night because that to me is one of the just most action-packed stories that there is, that pulls in so many elements. If they could take that and turn it into like a 2-movie to 3-movie series and really do it right, I can't imagine anybody that would enjoy anything sci-fi or action not loving that movie.
I'd rather see that turned into a animated film than
Really?
to do it justice. I mean, you think about everything that was put into that story.
Man, with CGI now, you could do it justice in
Oh
live
no,
action.
not looks of it, but like story wise, like you got to think about everything they need to do before they do that movie in a live action sense, because there's so much in that movie of like story that's going on, and I'm talking about the main focus of the story, not the like offshoots and the tie-ins they made, but like with all the villains they would need to set up and heroes they'd need to set up and then kill off to make sense of it and to make sense to it besides us.
Started right at the beginning, man. You just fucking bam right into it.
To us it would make sense, but to just go off like that right at the beginning, for people that don't know a single thing about Green Lantern and all these people, they would just be like, what's going on?
It'd be an action movie, man. It'd be an action movie. I mean, when you're watching Saving Private Ryan, you don't know the name and history and everything of all those dudes dying on the beach.
Because it's a made up story, not pulled from anything. That's a typical war story. But like if you're taking something like that's been established already elsewhere, like Green Lantern, that people know, and you're gonna put them on a screen into this story that's just like almost, it could be out of nowhere to like people besides us, you need to set it up more somewhere else and just come into it.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta think too.
It's a whole like they could do most of these good storylines with that aren't that big as Blackest Night and do it well in a movie. But like I don't, just something that big I don't think would work unless you set it up. But there are other smaller storylines that you could definitely do. Pull right out the book, and just have a great movie and not like.
Could you imagine if you watched that movie and not knowing anything about the comic books or the comic book world, and that first interaction between Hawkman and Hawkgirl, like, you would be confused as fuck.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, who are these people with fucking bird heads, and why are they fucking? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I guess.
Why are they crying about one dying and fucking having to hunt for another person? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I suppose.
But there definitely is other stories that they could definitely do it too.
Yeah, I agree completely. Okay, so something I want to talk about that I thought was, I really think this just shows how petty and how ridiculous portions of the internet can be. Fans have petitioned the Walking Dead writing staff to somehow miraculously resurrect. Spoilers, just in case. To miraculously resurrect Beth. As
really?
The article that I read when it was published. The article that I read, there was 34,268 signatures on this formal petition to the AMC Walking Dead's writing staff. What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Why did they need? This is where we need to sit everybody down and be like, "There's a comic book with this. Go read it. This is what happens. You can't." Did they ever petition? Does anybody know if they ever petitioned people to come back to life on Game of Thrones?
I have no idea.
George R.R. Martin killed off like he just kills off the main characters.
Yeah, all of them.
That you could see them one time, and the next page they could be dead, or the next scene they could be dead. I mean,
that's from literature. It's historical fact.
You know, this proves this
is based on the happenings.
This proves our last conversation, the last topic is 100% right. Like, take a look at Walking Dead. That's a perfect example. Just like Brian said, this is directly from the fucking comic books. It's right out of the comic books, pretty much.
Yes and no. There is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they changed a lot.
But the broad strokes are the story. Is the story there?
Beth wouldn't have been a main character if they did it by the comic books. She wouldn't have
Daryl
lasted that
wouldn't be in
long.
the show if they did it by the comic books. There, you know what I mean?
Okay, so there's some.
There's a lot
There's
of
a lot-
differences, but
Yeah.
they follow the same path,
Rick would
more
also-
sense, but like it's total a lot of things are totally different.
Rick would also be missing a hand, not Merle,
Yeah.
if it was like the comic books.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's not...
Carl would still be like a little, like 6-year-old kid.
So what's
Carl would be a little
the
kid
recipe
and
for
Judith would
success
be dead.
then? Like, how has Walking Dead been so successful? Is it just because it's zombies, or what? I mean,
I mean,
it's
they're good
it's
stories. The
writing.
comic books, yeah.
It's hands down. The
It's
comic
really
books
good.
are good writing, and the TV show's good writing.
okay, Walking Dead or
It's-
Breaking Bad? Which one's better?
That's rough.
I mean, I
I'm
gotta
gonna
go. I gotta go with
Right
Breaking
now, I'm going
Bad.
to say Breaking Bad.
I gotta
I'm going to
go
go Breaking Bad.
In a
Breaking
TV
Bad is
show
kind of-
sense of mine, I would say Breaking Bad too, because
Yeah.
I mean,
That
even
is-
though I didn't watch the last season yet,
What?
yeah, I
What?
haven't watched the last season yet.
Are you fucking
Dude.
kidding me?
How could
Oh my god.
you say anything about Breaking Bad? The
But
last
if it wasn't for Walking Dead second season, where the whole first half of the season they're like looking for Sophia, I would say Walking Dead. But because
Dude,
of that,
the
I
last
say
season
Breaking
of
Bad.
The last season of Breaking Bad is easily the best season.
I know.
Like,
I gotta watch it still.
Threefold. Yeah, you gotta watch that by next week so we can talk about it. I can't fucking believe you haven't seen that shit. Oh my god. That's like you
Yeah.
being on this podcast for 54 episodes and being like, I have no idea who Batman is.
Who we talk about? A guy named Batman.
Yeah, how about
Is
that?
that the person in the tabloids? You know, they
Yeah.
found Batman in New Mexico.
Yeah. Nice poll. Oh, I like that. That was good.
I seen him in the grocery store when I was checking out the other day. I know who you're talking about.
Well, that's about it that we've got for news. The Walking
I
Dead
have more than
point
that.
was the
Yeah.
last thing that I had to cover. I do
Oh,
want to
what
say that I
about
think
the-
that's fucking ridiculous. That like okay, hang on before we wrap things up. How would they be able to bring her back? Like, how do these people expect?
It was all a
It was
dream.
Yeah, it was
I had a dream.
That's the hands down go-to move when a writer does something in a show and they want to fucking they give it. It's like a Lost thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is what could have happened.
They're really
and
in
they, like,
purgatory.
like the Wayne's World, like let's give it the happy ending. You know, like it's
What? You know,
that's the only thing. That's
that
the
would
only thing
cheapen
she
it
can do.
so bad.
Exactly. That's why they shouldn't do it. Fuck it. You killed her. Whether you know what I mean. Like
Let
I
it
think
go.
the death was a
Yeah.
wasted death. I think they could have portrayed it better, but let her go. Fuck it. Like it's already done. Let's move on. Let's finish up this season and get on with what next happens.
What do you think, Brian? How do they fix it?
How do they fix it?
How do they
They're gonna-
bring her back?
It was really
Talk me through it.
Rick passing out for taking a big shit. So when he wakes up from taking that big shit, she's
overdosed.
alive.
Overducing. He overduced.
You got some bad shit and overdosed.
That's the new term right there. You heard it here first, folks. Overduced. God damn it. Okay. All right. Well, that's about it for this week. Little shorter episode, but that's all right. We should have Topher back next week. I know he was hoping to talk about some of what he's been reading and whatnot. And
I'm sure he's gonna get us up to date on the X-Men.
oh man, X-Men coming in hot next week.
I don't even need to read the comics. Topher just tells
I
me
know,
about them.
right? I feel the same way. I don't need to read Marvel because he reads it and then he tells me line for line exactly what they say.
Yeah, he overduces it.
Overduces it.
I just want to use that all the
We
time.
gotta save that for next time when he's
Yeah,
when he's giving
yeah,
us
we
the,
need to. Easy, don't
you know, the
overduce
fucking- Yeah, don't no spoilers. You don't want to overduce it.
it. God,
He'll
that's
never.
fan-
he'll
that is
never.
absolutely
He'll never-
fantastic. I'm gonna use that all the time, Brian.
Overduce.
All right. We'll see you next week. I'm Fox 2. We got Pirate
See you guys.
and the whole effing Brian.
Don't forget not to overdo it.